Hey guys, thought I'd show you today how to use Gatsby in CodeSandbox. So we're gonna click here and we're gonna scroll down to the server templates. We're gonna click on the Gatsby template and we're gonna hope for the best. I had some issues with that when I tried it earlier. So let's see how it fares this time around. Be able to make changes. If we save the file, it's gonna fork it. We do need to wait for the sandbox container to get reinitialized. In the meantime, so maybe you've never seen Gatsby before. So what is that? Well, it's an awesome static site generator, if you will, based on React, that builds blazing fast pages, allows you to bring in your own data from wherever the source you may have, and is easily deployable. You could deploy it anywhere, for instance on Netlify. That being said, here we are in CodeSandbox, and we have of course the editor, the preview window, and the dependencies and file structure on the left. The only thing maybe worth mentioning are the 4 Gatsby files here. 3 of those are actually not necessarily required, and you can actually delete without really needing them in production. Gatsby browser, Gatsby node, and Gatsby SSR. You could read more about them and what they do. In a nutshell, they do allow you to access particular Gatsby APIs. For example, generating pages programmatically, or adding something to pages when the page bodies are being rendered, etc. The file that you do need to keep, it's the Gatsby config file. And this is the file where we describe the various plugins we want to use in Gatsby. And one of the big benefits in Gatsby is that you have quite a rich plugin ecosystem, like literally, well, I don't want to say like whatever you may think of, but like all sorts of plugins that the community has built. There are a lot of things that are very easily reusable, and you definitely don't need to discover the wheel over and over again. You just install and utilize the plugin in your configuration and you're off to the races. In this particular case, what do we have here? Some shortcut. When commenting, that basically gives us a PWA, or a progressive web app, from the get-go. Just keep that commented out for the time being, and that's about it. Of course, those things are kind of reflected here in the dependencies too. You can see Gatsby image is a really awesome plugin that gives you lazy loaded images. Basically, those are highly performing images. They're loading base64 encoded images, like much smaller version of your original image size to begin with, and then using blur up strategies or traced SVG strategies to deliver the final asset whenever it's required. And yeah, Gatsby can support hooks, so if you're into hooks, you're lucky. Yeah, that's pretty much it on the configuration side of things. And in the source folder, we have a pages folder. Creating components here actually creates pages in Gatsby, so those are different pages, and we have a default 404 page as well. Here in this image folder, I guess we just have like some images, and in the components is where you can describe your components. Pretty straightforward. So if we look at this page, we should be able now to make changes to the page and hopefully preview our changes almost instantaneously, which is quite cool if you just want to give it a shot from right within CodeSandbox. Say we want to go to say we want to create a new page. So how would you go about that? You're just going to make a page 3 component, and we're just going to import React and we're gonna have our page 3. Whoop. Here we can basically return some JSX. Way too many typos. I blame it on the first live stream. Welcome page 3. If you go now to page 3, we should see our page. You could, of course, like I said, you could actually use hooks. So let's have like a, I wonder why my prettier settings are not preserved. Let's have like a quick little hook that we can use, so we can do something like the typical example with the button. Let's say count, set count from react.use state and initialize that with a 0, and then look in here we're gonna say button on click takes an arrow function and which runs set count, and it sets to count +1, and click me and close the button tag and save. Oh, we might wanna clicked count many times, for example. Click, 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 click. And that's how easy it is to just like make pages in Gatsby from right within CodeSandbox. And whenever you're ready, you could actually fork your projects and connect them to Netlify for real snappy deployments. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.